I'm Janice McLean-Deloge. We are live at Small Business Week 2009. I have the pleasure and honor of speaking to Lisa Gersh. Now that name may not sound familiar to some of you, but she has been part of the strategic team behind the scenes who has brokered deals and alliances for Carsey Werner and Harpo Productions. So I'd like to welcome Ms. Gersh and say thank you so much for speaking with me today. How are you?
Very well, thanks for having me.
What brings you to Small Business Week this year?
I'm so fascinated by the organization and the importance that President Obama is placing on the Small Business Administration. And Karen Mills is a longtime colleague of mine who I work very closely with and have known for over 20 years. And she invited me to come down today to be part of this and to introduce her.
When I was listening to Ms. Mills talking, and for those that don't know, Karen Mills is the administrator of the SBA. She's the new administrator, and she talked about quite a few items. One which stuck out in my mind was small businesses having a place at the table. And I'm just curious on what that might mean for you, because for you guys, let me give you some of her background. She was a lawyer who took a law firm from 6 attorneys to 40 and has managed to broker the deal with the Weather Channel, which she is now the CEO of. And I just want to find out, as a woman in that industry, how does that affect small business? And then what do you get out of us having a place at the table? I know it's a really long question. So
before the Weather Channel, in connection with Oxygen, we were a small business, and we benefited from some of the policies that were in effect at the time. We started Oxygen in part, one of my motivations was really to have the freedom to nurture an idea. And that's what small business is all about. It's the new American dream. It's replaced the white picket fence, and it's particularly attractive for women.
Yeah.
So that while I am currently working with a big company, and those policies might not necessarily affect that, the companies we look at and the ideas we look at for the future and growth are often ideas that have been nurtured by small businesses. And it's just critical to the growth of this country and the economy that we nurture small business and ideas. And given the current credit crisis, that's going to impact the ability of a lot of big businesses to do things.
yeah.
The role of small businesses will become even more critical than it is today.
You know, and that is really a huge point that you make, and it's a very good point. I feel that small business has always been not just the engine that makes it run, and as Karen Mills also mentioned, the backbone. Do you think we're going to see more people going into small business and becoming entrepreneurs?
Absolutely, inevitably. As jobs go away in big corporations, people are going to look to their passions and the needs of the community. They're going to get creative. It's going to cause innovation, and we are definitely going to see more small business.
Now hold on. What do you predict? And I know you don't have a crystal ball. Where is small business going? Where do you see our future? And I know you said some of it's people following their passions and their trends, but is that something we've always done, or do you think it's more an interest now because of the jobs disappearing?
I think it's something people have always done, but if you look at fields like energy and technology, clearly you're going to see more growth in those sectors as people are looking for alternatives. And as big business pulls back in those areas, small entrepreneurs will move in.
Okay, one last thought. As a female, and I don't even know so much as it's just about being a female, what would you like to tell another woman who, I'm looking at you and I'm just astonished that you made it as a lawyer in a television industry. Media can be it can be interesting. What would you tell another woman who wants to be that next Lisa Gersh, or what tips would you give to that entrepreneur who's starting out? What would you say?
Look, I think the first thing for any entrepreneur is to follow a passion. You have to have a passion and a vision of what you want to do. And if you don't, no one else is going to follow you. So find that passion. You need to really believe in what you can do, and you will get naysayers, but a job, any job, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're in a big company, your job is to identify the obstacles and move them out of the way. Identify the obstacle, move them around, and if you can't move the obstacle out of the way, go around the obstacle. Don't whine. That's my biggest piece of advice. No whining.
And women, we tend to be whiners. I don't know. though. A lot of it's coming from the males these days. I'm just kidding.
I think men whine as much as women.
Yeah.
But it's the person who can get around or move the obstacle that will always succeed.
Ms. Gersh, I am so proud of you. Not that you need my approval. I'm just really in awe. I'm very inspired, and I know that we're going to see another great thing that you've, or entity or alliance that you put together. And I don't know, I hope somewhere along the line I'm in that lineup. So thank you so much. Thank you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more from Entrepreneur's Edge TV.